Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Really. Pardon the Politics Podcast.
Go to my brother Manny. Manny, what's your spotlight for the week?
Man, well, adding to the list of things that people are up in arms about, flock. Flock, people.
Hey, bro.
Flock. People,
Bruh.
people real,
That Waka
real
Flocka.
upset. So,
Yes.
for those of you who are unfamiliar, Flock Safety, it is a company that basically sells automated license plates readers.
Allegedly.
Yes. Basically, what it does is scans a car, it locks its plate, color, make, model, bumper stickers, and then upload it to a searchable AI database, pretty much. That then specific agencies that have contracted with Flock can then query. So it is sold as a tool, sold and marketed as a tool to help finding missing people, recover stolen cars, and at this point, it is probably one of the most largely debated policing technologies in America at this point. And then doesn't preclude North Carolina. On July 7th, when Josh Stein signed the budget, there was a 3-year State Bureau of Investigation camera pilot that is essentially going to open up 78% of the state's roads. So Flock has been, getting a lot of feedback across the country, all going back to that database and then being able to track and look up people. And it then again draws this huge line between what is for safety and what is privacy. One of the biggest things that have come up, the latest number that I saw, 50, but there's been at least 50 reports of officers and licensed agencies using this camera data inappropriately, looking up people, tracking X's. And it tends to be the problem. You have people who are going through, they're literally cutting down these poles. One of the things that I think is really, really interesting is Flock is not selling cameras. They lease access. So when you see a Flock camera go up, it's not your city, your municipality. It's Flock's.
Yep.
So I think that subscription model helps smaller municipalities. So if they want to be able to post up, get it set up in their neighborhoods, communities, it is marketed as an option to be able to do that. But for most critics, what we're saying is that we are now allowing a private company to set up essentially a private network of cameras that are watching and monitoring and tracking. And if you just look at the history of marginalized people, Black people living through various different versions of the surveillance area, where we had stop and frisk, we had the amount of Black people who are stopped for traffic enforcements. Now to essentially just put a camera on every corner without a warrant is basically just allowing full-time surveillance. And there's a lot of questions on what people are going to be doing with these. What are these agencies going to do? And the transparency, what are they searching for? And a lot of these questions have not been answered. So we are starting to see in various states, Tennessee is one of the big ones, where you're starting to see legislation come up to go ahead, block and ban this type of technology from existing. That the cost of privacy is not worth, the cost of safety is not worth the privacy that we will have to give up to be able to allow this to exist and function. But it's happening more and more places. And it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Now, North Carolina, like I said, we had a pilot program. In that pilot program, that these cameras scanned over 150 million scans as of March of this year across the 32 agencies. And of the 40,000 plus ICE linked lookups found only one person. So one of the other things that there's been a lot of conversations about ICE being able to leverage this to do its searching and tracking. And in this, it's only been able to find one person for ICE. So it's going to be interesting. And we'll see kind of how this progresses. I know municipalities aren't necessarily happy that people keep cutting these down. But it's becoming painfully obvious that communities do not, very much like data centers, communities do not want these things in their neighborhood. So we'll see how this progresses, and especially here in North Carolina. And Chuck, it'll be interesting to see how the conversation changes your way, because Atlanta is where Flock is headquarters at.
Yep.
Listen, Atlanta is the most surveilled city in the country because we have hundreds of thousands. I don't remember the exact number, but it's thousands of flock cameras everywhere. Everywhere. And it's funny that this was your spotlight because I contemplated something similar to this in my spotlight this week, referencing back to the the June 29th ruling by the Supreme Court in reference to the Fourth Amendment and the geofence warrants, and how even these geofence data requests from the likes of Google and the different companies still fall under the Fourth Amendment. So police have to get a warrant. And there has been questions of, does this include flock cameras, although license plates are public in public spaces and public information? What kind of public information? But not really, because everybody don't have access to it, but it's seen in a public space. So no different than if you're in a public space and I'm filming, I can film you because you're in a public space without having to get your consent or permission. And so there has been some question if that will be put before the Supreme Court as well. But in reference to your number about the 50, I actually just saw an article last week that there's been almost 100 officers in APD who are
just Atlanta?
Just Atlanta. Just Atlanta, who are in investigation. And the article was focusing on one officer who has been relieved of duty because he used the flock database to track someone on many instances. And as the report goes and the investigation has gone, there's a litany of searches that have happened that have nothing to do with any kind of investigation or case. And so there is legislation and talks of protocol being put in place to where, if I'm not mistaken, when they do a search, they have to have a case number to be able to do a search and not just throw in a license plate. But yeah, man, this stuff is interesting. And before we move on, you hear Flock now. Flock is a name now. And I heard a very tinfoil hat conversation about Flock and the deflock wave. But there's another company that has come out with these same type of cameras. It's called Axon, AXON, or Axon, where there's many areas and many cities where people have, lifted their voice up against Flock, and these municipalities like, okay, we'll take the Flock cameras down. And then these Axon cameras pop up.
New name.
Even to the point, I seen one video where, the speed radars, where you're riding by and it tells you how fast you're going. There's a Flock or a camera built in and put into the backside of that speedometer or speed check. So as you pass it, it's captures your license plate. Yeah. So great spotlight, brother. Yeah, it's some stuff out there.
All right, brother Chuck.
So my spotlight,
brother?
Man, I had gone back and forth about a couple different things, but then I came across something that we kind of had discussed about on the podcast before, but it really has been spiked my interest and my attention. We talked about a long time ago the DHS funding issues and when they couldn't get funding, and we talked about all the things with Mark Wayne Mullen and how he's leading DHS, and my good brothers here have even talked about how ICE has gotten all the attention about DHS, but there's many other entities in DHS that are suffering, even though their names are not in the headlines. And one of those entities is CISA. And you ask, what is CISA? Because it's not a sexy name.
Well, how about to say the singer?
Bruh.
Bruh.
CISA is the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. And this agency is one who protects critical national infrastructure from cyber and physical threats. And you ask, why are you talking about this? Well, there's a report that came out that Iran has had cyber attacks against municipalities and our water supply. And so with these attacks, what is happening is these systems are getting hacked. It's causing different system shutdowns at wastewater facilities and water treatment facilities. You mess with our water, we can't drink, we can't eat, we can't cook, we can't wash our tails. And there have been numerous attacks in many different states. Just to name a few: Michigan, New Jersey, South Dakota, Washington State, Wisconsin, Georgia, and Minnesota. And I leave those two last for a particular reason that I'll get to. But in these attacks, there are smaller towns, smaller municipalities, no major cities yet where these attacks have been happening. Some of the things that have happened is where the hackers have gone through an exploit on the internet and been able to hack into systems to where they shut the system down, but they've cut off the alarm that would notify people that there's been a system issue. So now that the system is down,
they don't even know what to do.
They don't even know what's going on. One particular instance, and the reason I emphasize Georgia, Clayton County, Georgia, is a suburb in the Atlanta metro area. Home of Lotto. Hey, boo. They had a boil water alert happen. And I remember the day when it came on. Again, it's in metro Atlanta. It's right. It's one of those counties that sits right around Atlanta. That's right there. So, and if I'm watching the news, I'm going to see it about Clayton County. And I said, at that time, it was it didn't make a big alert to me because for those who've never been to Atlanta, we call it the metal plate capital of the world, because if there's a road issue, they just slap a metal plate over it. If there's a busted pipe, they dig a hole, cut the water off, slap a metal plate over it. So I was thinking it was one of those situations where there was a busted pipe because the infrastructure needs some work. Then come to find out, it's one of those targeted attacks from Iran.
Got to be more careful.
Got to be more careful. Then Minnesota. They've had the most attacks in Minnesota per reports. And, reporters saw this. The agencies realized that it could potentially be Iranian attacks. And they asked Donald Trump about this. And you know what Donald Trump said? Oh, that wasn't Iran. That wasn't Iran. That's happened because the governor of Minnesota is incompetent.
Bruh. I remember seeing this.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes.
All right, so
I was not expecting that curveball.
Yes.
So what we got to worry about?
We ain't got to worry about. But I bring up CISA in the beginning because if you hadn't realized, there's been staffing cuts They've lost over a third of their staffing since January 2025. Some of that's from Doge and the workforce realignment. Some of that's early retirement. That's the natural process of, having people in jobs.
Matriculation.
Yes, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. The matriculation of the workforce. But then we have these things where they're cutting necessary jobs, many vital areas. This is a cybersecurity agency. This is 2026. A lot of attacks, a lot of framework, a lot of we was just talking about the elections being compromised, or the thought of elections being compromised and influenced through cyber attacks. They said Russia interfered. Donald Trump said China interfered. I can tell you they didn't just have people over here with guns to people's heads telling them to vote any kind of way. The propaganda that popped up on Facebook didn't just happen because somebody physically put it there. These were cyber attacks. And you have an agency specifically meant to pay attention to, combat, and alert the necessary entities when they see irregularities and things happening. But you cut a third of the job force? Don't seem like you properly prepared to me. So it's my spotlight because, one, I want you to pay attention to these things. But two, Iran can't send a missile over here. They just don't have the capability for a long-range missile. Geographically, we're not close to them. Yes, they've shot at some of our allies and military bases. But if I can't put my hands on you, I'm going to get to you somehow. And unfortunately, our water supply is not as heavily fortified and secured and protected like our power grid or like our travel systems. Because it's so fragmented. There's so many individual municipalities who handle their own water supplies and own water treatment facilities. So there's different levels of protocols and securities. And some people just don't have as robust of a system as the larger cities. They just can't do it. They're small town. So if I can't get a missile over there, I'll find a way to get to you. And our government has left them very vulnerable and open by the reduction of CISA. That's my spotlight, brother.
All right. Well, to bring it full circle, my spotlight of the week, I have two, and one will be an announcement that I don't believe my brothers know. So this will be a real-time reaction to the announcement that I will make after my original spotlight. But my spotlight of the week is staying in the Middle East because there's something major going on, and we have an issue. And if by now you haven't watched this or listened to this episode enough or this podcast enough, you know that if it's in the Middle East, one of the problems got to be Israel, of course. So President Bibi, or Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister, has now rejected the latest U.S.-backed 15-point plan for Gaza. Trump got his border piece together, finally able to come to terms with a deal with Hamas on what to do to end the conflict that's in Gaza. And Bibi said, not going to happen. Bibi said that Israel will not withdraw until Hamas is genuinely and completely disarmed, not partially disarmed. I believe the plan in the 15-point plan was to have a reduction, and as that happened, it'd be in waves and in steps. Bibi said, I'm not backing down till they do it completely. So you essentially have a geopolitical game going on of someone saying you first, no, you first, until something happens. Except instead of arguing over who hangs up the phone first or who stops doing this first, doing that, you have military withdrawal, weapons, Palestinian citizens, Israeli security, and really, if we're being completely honest, the future of Gaza. That is what is at stake. We spent years talking about America's relationship with Israel, almost as though American support automatically means that Israeli government gets American support, regardless of whether it follows America's diplomatic strategy. Now, you would think that obviously, if the U.S. has this plan together, it should be foolproof for Israel. But we're seeing now that the relationship is even more strained because we are constantly trying to get somewhere, and we're getting held up by this road block that is called Israel. We've seen it happen with the ceasefire and things of that nature that happened with Gaza before, with Lebanon. We've seen it with Iran. The common denominator is U.S. seems to not be able to do what they need to do to keep Israel at bay. Here you have a 15-point plan that is agreed upon by all sides, but the one that is not willing to let up whatsoever. Mind you, that's still a what people have detailed and classified as a genocide, starvation, resources that are being taken or eliminated from being for having access to people while still pushing a vast amount of people into this small population, this small demographic area, and consistently and constantly providing nothing for them to have any stability as this war has played out. It seems like Hamas is willing to come to the table. US and Trump's board of peace have been able to get them to agree to something, but still we have Israel sitting here saying not gonna do it. Now, we know that Trump don't take no well. We talked about it earlier in the episode when it came to his tantrums. He doesn't like being told no well. But what happens in this case? Because in all honesty, Trump needs a win. And if any time he needs a win now. He needs a win now. So does Trump pressure Netanyahu? Does Netanyahu compromise? Does Hamas give in to Israel and move to disarmament? We don't know, but I think that with this public statement of BB telling Trump no on this 15-point back plan, that Trump has been able to get at least 2/3 to agree to. That 1/3 is again holding back any achievement, any accomplishment for this president.
Well, I think the question is going to be, how does this election for BB go in Israel? Because how much of this is him not actually, does he actually not agree with this, or is he trying to save face for some of the hardliners that he's going up against at Israel? So I think that's the question I see from his side. But yeah, we not in a good spot.
Nope.
Yeah,
not in a good spot at all. So another week of more conflict, and at the end of this, still innocent people, civilians,
most
dying.
importantly,
children, women. This is not a game. This is life, and somebody should be looking for an end. And what is BB's end? What is it? Is it impossible what he's asking for? Is it unfair? Is it strategically not in line with the region and what they're trying to do? We don't know. That's something we'll have to figure out. But I think certainly we should keep our spotlight on it. And really, hopefully, for those that listen, we don't lose sight of the spotlight that's on Gaza. Because I think with so much conflict going on in the Middle East, people are starting to forget.
It becomes real easy.
More and more and more. They're still suffering. Innocents are still suffering. And I've heard the complaint that people have made, oh, well, Hamas is standing behind them and using innocent lives. That doesn't mean that we got to stoop to their level and act just as inhumane. So that's
somebody
my spotlight.
Somebody be the adult in the room.
Please. He hit me first. Can we get out of that?
Right.
Somebody's gonna say, hey, can we stop this and act like we got some sense? But that's my original spotlight of the week. And my announcement to you guys of what I just received a notification on Instagram in the socials. We were together the last time that we had all the lead together. We were down in Houston, Texas. And the brothers had a great time.
Was that really the last time?
That all of us?
Yeah.
No,
because
Your
then it would have
wedding.
been my wedding. Would have been
Your
the last
wedding.
one.
the last time that the fellas were together for the funds.
For debauchery.
Okay, there we
For the
go.
debauchery. There you go. Chuck.
That didn't really happen, but
That did
we
not
won't talk
happen.
about that.
we went down to Houston, and the brothers had a great time. Shout out to Houston. We had a great time. But I just received word that an establishment that we enjoy in our time down there, Camp Houston, has permanently closed its
What?
doors.
Dang.
They have closed down permanently. They have had issues with the location that people complained about, sound, and there were
Traffic.
other, things that they were fighting against. And ultimately, it was announced a few hours ago that they just have decided now to close their doors permanently. And the operating group that was running the place said that they are already working on something in the future, but camp has officially closed. So to all the camp counselors that made Camp Houston. I went back to Camp Hope days.
The
man.
Camp Hope.
But all the
Rainbow.
camp counselors that made Camp Houston what it was. I'm glad that we got to experience it. Manny, not so much. So he may not know exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe vague.
I knew what the goal was.
But to Camp Houston, an area that frequented many talents in the music industry.
Oh yes.
I still, to our time that we went, I still keep the Instagram. I still follow the Instagram page, and always a good. The one time we went, it was a ball. So I know every time I see the pictures, the videos, who was coming there for the weekend, I knew it was a movie every time. So to those that enjoy frequent the spot, hate to hear that it's closed permanently, and hopefully the managing group that ran that place will bring something back that will hopefully be able to work in line with the local authorities and whatnot to make sure they got something going, because you hate to see a establishment close, especially when it's a good time. So, but yeah. Camp Houston, we will remember you in our thoughts. So yeah.
Oh man, I'm thrown. I
sad.
gotta reach out to my homies. Some of my homies in Houston, and then one of my homegirls who's I don't want to call her an influencer because she's a successful businesswoman who loves camp as well. And like, dang,
I know. I just seen that pop up, and I was like, yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Oh wow.
So yeah. Well,
hey.
To our listeners, we've reached the conclusion of this episode, season 3, episode 30. If you stayed for the duration of the episode and lend us our ear, we appreciate you and thank you for tuning in. To those that know us, to those that are first-time visitors, to those that are returning visitors, we ask you to like, to share, follow, subscribe, share the word, bring someone, reach one, teach one. It's like Family and Friends Day back at church. Bring somebody with you. Bring somebody with you. If you've never been to Friends and Family, maybe you've been to Vacation Bible School. Bring a friend with you.
Bring a friend.
Bring her. We got pizza. We're gonna give you. Now we're gonna cut a slice of pizza up 3 different ways, so we can make sure we spread it. And the drinks.
Everybody gonna get a piece.
Look,
you'll get a hug and some chips.
The drinks
you're not gonna have Coca-Cola.
Everything gonna be all brand.
Whatever food line cola is.
Whatever on sale.
Mountain Thunder.
Yeah, whatever we can get 4 cases for $5.
$5.
You know
buy
what?
one get 3 free.
We gonna have some Tampico.
Oh God,
bruh.
Tampico boy.
It's a Tahitian treat.
Hey, bro, Tahitian's a treat.
Whoa. Ooh,
no slander on Tahitian now. My mother-in-law to this day, bro, she can't get Tahitian up in Maryland. So when she come down here, bro, I go get about 4. I get about 4 or 5 2 liters. Send it on the way.
Oh yeah,
that her cheer wine.
Bro.
Oh yes, sir.
Cheer wine.
Listen, you get you some Tahitian. You get some Tahitian treats, some cheer wine, put it in the freezer, let it get a little slush,
little frosty.
I used to do that in my Sunny D. That's Sunny Delight.
That's what's diabolical.
Bro, have you had? I had
Sunny
Sunny D
diabolical
within the last year.
I'm sorry,
and, bro. That
you had what?
I had Sunny Delight within the last year because I'm like, I wonder what this tastes like now,
bro. It can't be the same,
bro. I took a sip and was like, nope. Nope. This ain't the orange 40 that I grew up with.
Hey, listen, I said, bro, not the orange 40.
This ain't
Yeah.
That's funny.
Hey, you get that sunny light, that bright and early, or that Donald Duck juice.
Or that Donald Duck orange juice, boy. That Donald Duck orange juice will lock up your jaw.
Hey, somebody said the other day, like, all those drinks, bro, I didn't realize. They said, you ever had a dry drink? And I said, bro, I know exactly what you mean now. You drink it and you still either just as
you gotta get some more
thirsty.
That's why Minute Maid get gone so quick. It's a dry drink, bro. You would never get hydrated drinking that drink, bro.
Never.
You will always,
Never.
bro. That's why it get gone so quick, bro. But yeah, to our listeners, man, we thank you for tuning in. And yeah, all hearts and minds clear.
All hearts and minds clear.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I was gonna tell y'all one more thing, and that this was gonna be in my We Were Proper People. But do y'all remember the Tussie Cream deodorant?
Yeah, you gotta stick your finger in there and put it in your underarm. Yeah.
Hey, bro, we were proper people. When you went to go to your grandparents' house and you forgot your deodorant, and that's what they had for you to use.
You had to grab that Tussie.
And take them 2 fingers and rub it.
Hey, but you better make sure you go wash your hand because that little bit of Tussie that get underneath your nail.
Hey, bro, don't rub your eye and let that get in your eye or something, bro.
No, sir.
You messed up. That Tussie be sitting beside that old bottle of pink calamine lotion.
That been there since the late 1900s.
With the brown cap.
And that skin so soft that's underneath the sink.
That's all outdated.
Maybe even a box of Calgon.
Hey, bro. with that rubbing alcohol and witch hazel.
Man,
those were the days, bro.
Anyways.
All right, listeners. We're going to check y'all out in the next episode.
We'll see y'all next week.
We love you. We love you. If don't nobody love you, just know the boys here at the pod. We love y'all. Y'all take care, and we'll see you at the next episode.
Yeah.
Peace.
Hello, world. Welcome to Part in the Politics podcast. We back. I'm back. Really? Yes, sir.